Reboot, I'm cold red, my service automated, like data running through my veins. Got you distracted, subconscious overloaded. Careful, don't pull the cord on me. No time to stay around. Keep walking till you get out of my face. Regrets, restricted access. I'm just a fly to get up in ya. We love discharging. I'm gonna waste my time with someone slowing me down, 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 down. So high, I'm floating, I'm shining in my prime. Start rolling over, cause you can't take my crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. My crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown. Rhyme my circuits, but you don't get that courage, cause you can handle my game. No, my drive's a puzzle. I got you so bamfuzzled, cause you can fall into my pain. No time to stay around. Keep walking till you get out of my face. Regrets, restricted access. I'm just a fly to get up in ya. We love discharging. I'm gonna waste my time with someone slowing me down, 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 down. So high, I'm floating, I'm shining in my prime. Start rolling over, cause you can't take my crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. My crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown. I won't waste my love on your heart. Sorry, cause I can't get what I want, and I don't need you. Discharging, I'm gonna waste my time when someone's slowing me down, 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 down. So high, I'm floating, I'm shining in my prime. Start rolling over, cause you can't take my crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. My crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown.
Let me feel your love again, cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Take me to a different place, just the two of us, and we can stay up all night, kissing under street lights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night, everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be the someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be the someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. all that time away from you. I didn't think I'd make it without you by my side. Let me feel your love again. Just the two of us, and we could stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night. Everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you.
What's up, guys? Shawn here. So, welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Shawn, and I'll be your host. I was in the middle of playing with the lights in the background, but since we're live, this is the pre-show. First off, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I've been moving things around in my office to, to kind of prepare for being quarantined and working from home all the time. So, on Fridays, I usually just kind of set up the laptop and use that to check email. And then I use that beast of a machine back there to do some development work. But since we're kind of quarantined, I'm going to rearrange my office so I can kind of dock my laptop and have multiple screens to work with during the week. But yeah, so we might hear a bunch of dings in the middle of this live chat because I've invited a bunch of people via Facebook. Actually purchased a pair of DJI goggles today. And the guy that I purchased them from, whenever I purchase drone related stuff from people on Facebook Marketplace, I'm always curious as to what they do. And he happened to do some land or some real estate videography with the DJI Mavic Pro 2. So I invited him to join the chat tonight, but I figured since this whole coronavirus thing's going on and we're all just kind of lonely, and we try not to interact with people as much as possible. I thought it'd be fun just to talk to each other tonight. So nothing super strict planned. I did play around with waypoints this week using the DJI Mavic Pro. And so I thought it'd be pretty cool to talk about autonomous flight just because that's something that I'm really, really into. I think it's so much easier to get a smooth video shot if you program the drone to, go as slow as possible. Every once in a while your finger can hit the stick wrong and you completely ruin your shot. But if you pre-program it ahead of time, your drone, your robot in the air is basically going smooth and flowing and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I really want to talk about tonight. There's several drones out there that have this capability. My favorite to date is the Parrot Anafi with Flight Plan, just because I've been using Parrots for years, and I was introduced to Flight Plan maybe 4 or 5 years ago with the Parrot Bebop. So really into that. Over the weekend, I got my DJI Mavic Pro up to date, and it's got waypoints, and waypoints are okay. But some of the videos that I've seen with the DJI Mavic Pro 2, waypoints seem to be a lot better on that bird. So I'm kind of anxious to get my hands on one of those now. But yeah. What's up, guys? So let's see. We got Tim Malone is in the house. Chris Hope is in the house. Brent Newman is in the house. Brent Nunley is in the house. Bob Casey is in the house. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good night. Hope you guys are staying clean and safe from this coronavirus thing that's taken over the world. And I figured we would be distancing ourselves, but also being social. So what is that called? Social distancing. I figured we'd do that over line, over the web, over the YouTube, via StreamYard, where we can have community, but not be in the same room with each other. So I hope somebody shows up and actually comes on here and talks to me, because I'm going to feel really lonely by the end of this night if nobody comes and actually chats with me in person via web. So I sent out invites to Newman. Nunley, you're definitely welcome to come in. Chris, Bob, Anybody who wants to come in and talk to me, you guys can. We can all talk to each other. I've subscribed to the StreamYard service so that we can all hang out. So all you need is a cell phone and the link that should be pinned in the chat. I pinned it in the Shawn Ide Studios chat. So yeah, so that's there. The other thing is we've got Shawn Ide Studios stickers. Wait, no. I hate it when it's opposite. So the screen I'm looking at is completely opposite of what I'm doing. So on the Shawn Ide Studios version, there's a super chat. This guy is a $10 super chat. This guy is a $5 super chat. All right. This is the older logo. This is the new and updated logo with, the cutout shape. This is a circle. All right. So that's enough business out of the way. Any donations to the chat will help the channel, will help me purchase other gear to show you guys and teach you guys about. I bought DJI goggles today. And I had DJI goggles back in the day, and they were the original white version. Today, I bought the racing edition because I'm planning on getting a Cinewhoop. Now, I know the racing edition doesn't work with the Bumblebee, which is actually the drone, the Cinewhoop that I really want. There's also a Green Hornet version. But so the guy that I bought these from might come in, but yeah, I told him 7 p.m. Central, like I tell everybody, so he might not show up till 7 because he's still talking to me. So Brent Nunley uses waypoint missions, or sorry, Brent Nunley uses Litchi. I've used Litchi in the past. The first time I used Litchi, I think it was kind of new, and I used it with the DJI Mavic Pro, and my app crashed on my phone, and my drone hovered over a parking lot for, it was maybe, I guess it had 10 minutes worth of battery before the return to home kicked in. So I could not connect to the drone for 10 minutes, and it hovered above there, and that was before all these videos on how to switch it over into sport mode and get control of your drone again and all these kind of things. And I just watched my drone. I kind of stood under my drone, just ready to catch it if it fell out of the sky. And then it flew over to the home point kind of at the last minute. Then I was like, whew. But the other thing is it flew over to the home point, and it stayed in the air, like it hovered for another 5 minutes, and then it landed. It was a very stressful afternoon when that happened. But I'm really surprised nobody wants to talk to me in person. Let's see. Chris Hope said, fun place. Not today, buddy. Springdale. Wait, look. I'm missing y'all's chat. So Nunley's in a hotel. Looking forward to the waypoint discussion. Good. Brent Nunley's in Springdale. Hello, Brent. Hello, Tim. Fun place, but not today. I use Litchi. No, Chris, but I'm working my way home tomorrow. Sweet. Brent. This Brent uses Litchi as well. DroneLink is a new one that looks to be very powerful. Okay. So DroneLink. We can talk about DroneLink. Uh-oh. The guy just invited us, is still asking some questions. I'm going to respond to him so we can see if we can get him on. All right. So we'll see if we can get him in. I'd really like some of the seasoned people to be here, but that's okay if they're not. We can talk to the new guy. So I got some DJI goggles. They are a little bit weird looking right now because I rubbed hand sanitizer all over them. You know, with the coronavirus, you can never be too safe. And this thing's actually going to go in my face. So I've been around VR for a while. But I haven't even plugged these in to see if they work or not. So let's see. All right, so far so good. Let's try them out. Oh, he's got a smaller head than me. All right, they seem to be dead. Oh, wait, no. Here's the power button. Ooh, they're beating up. Ooh, those are pretty. Nice. All right, so I'm super excited about this. The reason I decided to get these is because I've got the Mavic Air and I've got the DJI Mavic Pro. So it'll be fun to fly with those. So what's up? All right. Sorry, I was making supper. What's going on? What's up, Tim? You're welcome to join the chat. I've pinned it, but I can go ahead and put the invite link again. I wish there was a way to pin it here. But what the Racing Edition version of the DJI goggles do is they connect to the Inspire, the Phantom, all the Mavic series drones. It says all the Mavic series, but that was before the Mavic Mini comes out. So I don't know if I can connect to the Mavic Mini or not, but I'm going to try. And then it also has an HDMI, I think. Yep, it says HDMI right there. So with the HDMI, I can use my unique Typhoon H Plus, and with an adapter, I can use my Parrot Anafi. So that one set of goggles is going to attach to a lot of different drones. If I get the AccuSync Air unit, and I can put my AccuSync Air unit on my Parrot Anafi, and I can see even farther away. But I don't know. It might be too much weight for the Parrot Anafi. But anyway, that's an option. I can definitely put it on my unique Typhoon H Plus and, see through the goggles where I'm going. So since we're on quarantine, we've probably knocked out, I didn't realize how much coffee I drank, but we have knocked out a bunch of coffee here at the house. My wife went and she couldn't find the creamer that I like at the grocery store. So I'm going to try to limit myself to caffeine and kind of wean myself off of caffeine. So all right, so what we brought up so far in the chat is Litchi and Drone Link. So let's pop that up. All right. So hopefully someone will come in and talk to me. Tim Malone says, wow, you just said a bunch of stuff that was technical. I use big words, right, Tim? Anyway, so basically the DJI goggles, if you're not familiar with the DJI goggles, they basically take the point of view that's on your phone, controls, the telemetry and all that kind of stuff, and they put it on your face. If you've ever flown a drone out in the sun, sometimes it's very, very hard to see, especially if you just, if you're just flying, then being able to really, really see what you're doing on the screen is not as big a deal, as opposed to if you're doing real estate videography or, if you're doing inspections, those type of things with your drone. Sometimes you need to actually see what the camera sees. And what the goggles do is they cover your eyes, protect your eyes from the sun, give you a better representation of what the final video is going to look like. So that's pretty cool. Oh, Tim Malone said he knows nothing about drones. Okay. We're going to talk about drones a lot tonight, but hopefully it'll be very educational for you. Most of the drones out there, Tim, use your cell phone as the screen to view what's on the drone. Some of the Autels have their own screens. The GoPro Karma has its own screen. There are several drones out there that come with like a lot of the DJI drones come with like a smart controller, or there's some Phantoms that have little OcuSync screens on them. But basically when you're in the sun, it's pretty hard to see a screen when you're looking at this, you're competing with the sunlight, right? So that's why a lot of people, especially FPV flyers, when they put the goggles on their face, they're basically playing a video game, but it's like real. So they'll fly the FPV drone just like you're flying the TIE fighter in Battlegrounds or something like that. And they're flying through trees. They're flying, around objects that they want to see. They're doing loop-to-loops, flips, and all that kind of stuff. And it basically just lets you be in the cockpit of your tiny little Cinewoop or tiny little FPV racer. I'm not going to be doing any racing, but it's definitely cool to be in the goggles. Now there's a law here in America where you have to fly line of sight. So you can't really fly the drone and not be able to see it. Okay. So if you have a visual observer, if you have a guy sitting next to you that's watching the drone the whole time, then you can actually put your eyes in the cockpit of the drone. Something that I'm going to do is I'm going to fly the drone first as the visual observer, create my waypoints, and then I'm going to put the goggles on and watch the mission through the goggles. At any time I can grab the sticks and go, stop the waypoint mission and all that kind of stuff. But when you run a waypoint mission, especially with like the Paradanafi, that waypoint mission, you're not actually really flying. It's a pre-planned flight that you already did. Especially if you're doing it at the exact same time that you created the waypoint mission. You can fly the mission, and then the only thing you really have to worry about is manned vehicles or birds or balloons or stuff like that. Michael Blade says he's bored to death. I hope I'm not boring you to death. Are you just bored to death because you're stuck in your house? I hope I'm not making you bored. If you are bored to death, you can leave. But what's up, Michael? Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. It says we got 5 people in here. I feel like we have more than 5 people in here because there's a lot of people talking at the same time. So not sure what that's about. Yeah. Okay. Michael Blade said it wasn't me. So that's good. So yeah. So I've invited anybody in here can come into the chat room. I would really like somebody to come in here and talk to me. But if we're going to spend the whole night me reading your chats, I'm okay with that too. I'm in need of, just conversation. I've got my colleagues at work. I chatted with them this morning over a WebEx meeting, and then the rest of the day was just us typing to each other. My family's at home, but they're homeschooling. My wife is a teacher, so she's homeschooling the kids. I went out and met a guy this afternoon and bought DJI goggles from him. But, besides that, that's all the interaction I've had with people. I stopped by the gas station and bought a Dr. Pepper. Whereas usually 4 days out of the week, I am in the office. I see people. I hear people talk. I'm around people. So I don't know what I'm going to do for the next couple months. So one thing I want to do is I'm going to rearrange my office. Another thing I'm going to do is put out some more videos that I've been wanting to do for a while. Probably do a bunch of drone flying in my backyard. That's probably what I'll do. But yeah. So we're 4 minutes from 7 o'clock. At 7, we're going to run the intro. We've been hanging out for a little while. Still don't have anybody actually in the chat. And that makes me sad. Yeah, Michael, just flying my drone around. Actually, this might be a good opportunity to record some locations that I've been wanting to record. And the reason I haven't recorded them is because they're usually pretty busy. In the summertime is when I usually fly around the schools because they're usually closed during the summer. And so since schools will be closed for the next, at least till the end of March, I might just go out to a couple schools and fly them with nobody around. It might be a good idea. And with the whole waypoints thing, it might be a great way for me to understand how waypoints work on the DJI Mavic Pro. It was okay. Actually, what excites me about the waypoints mission that I did this weekend with my DJI Mavic Pro is the fact that I can actually fly 2 different points. And with a 360 camera, I can fly really, really slow from point to point. So that all that construction in my backyard, I created a waypoint mission from corner to corner to corner to corner. So if I did that with my Insta360 One X on the bottom of it, I can do that really, really, really slow, which is what you want to do when you're flying in VR. Something else that I can do is I can use my VR 180 cameras. So I can create a really cool mission with those, and it'll be really, really slow. Hopefully it'll be stable. I have a feeling with the DJI Mavic Pro, it kind of jerked a little bit on the corners. I'm not sure if it was just me or what. So Michael Blade said, I've never tried the waypoints on, he's never tried the waypoints on his Mavic 2 Pro, but he's done it on his Anafi. Yeah, if you're used to waypoints, if you're used to flight plan on your paired Anafi, at least the DJI Mavic Pro was a disappointment. But from what I've seen other videos, you can actually plan out a flight on your iPad with the DJI Go app, from what I understand. But you might need to do it in the air. Like I couldn't even activate waypoints unless I'm in the air. I tried to do a waypoint mission on my phone last night, and it said that I couldn't even get into waypoints unless I was in the air, which is kind of sad. Like you have to chew up a battery just to make a waypoint mission. Over the weekend, so I've got 3 batteries on my DJI Mavic Pro, and each battery you get about 20 minutes worth of flight time, and then all of a sudden, all the bells and whistles start going off, and then you have to bring it home, right? So first mission took me it probably took me 10 minutes to create the first mission, because I was flying to a point and I was kind of pointing my drone in certain plot spots, and then I'd fly over to another point, and I was just learning how to use waypoints because I'd never tried it before. And then I was like, okay, I got a cool waypoint mission. So I hit play, and it would go, and I got about 80% of the mission done because I made it go really slow, which created some buttery smooth footage, by the way. Especially if I had the Mavic 2 Pro and I could do 60 frames per second, man, that footage would look good. But yeah, so my next drone might be the Mavic 2 Pro. Now that they've been out for a little while. Oh, we got a guest. Oh, Art's in the house. We're going to bring him up. What's up, Art?
Hey, Shawn. Good to see you. Just taking it easy on my vacation here in Colorado.
Maybe we have audio. Yep. There he is. Yep. I didn't have my TV on. What's up?
Well, I'm here enjoying my vacation. I was going to be in Florida, but because of all this craziness, I decided to cancel and reschedule for May.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. You think we're going to be done with this by May?
I hope so.
Me too, man.
I think it will.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what have you been up to? I watched you play around with your RoboMaster. Saw that video.
Yeah, I went out and took the RoboMaster out again today to Lake Arbor and almost lost in the lake.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was...
You're not supposed to fly the RoboMaster.
No, I was checking out some geese, and I kept getting closer and closer to the edge, and it got stuck on some dead grass. It got all wrapped up in the wheels, and so it wasn't moving. So I went out there and checked on it, and I was like a foot away from the water.
Oh, gosh.
I was working on the video just before I came on the show. Hopefully I'll have it up tonight, if not tomorrow morning.
Very cool. What does that camera do on the RoboMaster? Do you know what the resolution is and stuff?
It's 1080p.
Okay.
It's a little bit narrower than a GoPro, so it's not as wide angle, so you don't have that fisheye look.
Yeah.
But I attached an SJ Cam 4000 on top. And I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of the video on it.
That's a cool idea, because you can point the top part of that RoboMaster any direction you want to.
That's right.
So just stick a action camera on there, and you're good to go.
Yep. I put one of those GoPro stick-em mounts on top, and it's good to go.
That's awesome. So what's that roller coaster behind? Is that a roller coaster or a train?
No, that's the Loop Railroad in up above Georgetown, Colorado.
Okay.
It's kind of a touristy thing. It's a narrow gauge railroad It's a tiny little town called oh, not Frisco, but yeah, but it's right above Georgetown.
Okay.
And not very far from there. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So what have you been up to?
Just sitting in my office by myself, pretty much.
So have you been kind of quarantined or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, I understand it and my wife understands it, but it's kind of hard to describe it to the kids. Like,
Yeah.
We're a little extra touchy about, talking over our food, and
Yeah.
they're just not used to germs, and their immune system is crazy good compared to,
Yeah.
I'm in my 40s, my wife's in her late 30s, and we live with my mother, so
Oh
she's
yeah.
she's in her 70s, so
Right.
we're all just kind of freaked out.
Yeah. So you gotta worry about. I just turned 60, so I'm kind of like I gotta watch it too.
Yeah, I've got high blood pressure and diabetes, and so they say like I'm the most susceptible to this. And
Right. Mm-hmm.
so I met a guy today and bought his DJI goggles racing edition. I got the racing edition goggles from him, and he, we went to shake each other's hand at the very end, and we were like, "Oh wait,
Gotta do one of these."
yep." And then I got my goggles home, and I sanitized the handle, I sanitized the goggles. I got the face part real good, the nose part, and
right. Good idea. Mm-hmm.
So it was a good time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we hear you, Brent.
All right.
Hey,
what's up? You got the old school goggles.
Yep. Watching you on them here.
Nice. Oh, that's a good idea. I should live stream from them.
Yeah.
I've got an adapter that basically turns my phone into an HDMI out, and then I can put those into the goggles.
Cool.
So I can fly so I'm planning on doing a video flying the Parrot Anafi with them, and just about anything I have.
Ooh.
So
Awesome.
Hey, Shawn, do you think you'll have to have corrective lenses put in yours?
I just put them on and I thought they were great.
Okay.
Like it was very clear.
Cool.
But I do so much VR that my eyes, I'm used to changing my eyes to whatever I put on. So I might not be able to handle more than a 20-minute flight with them, but yeah. So I hope they work.
Yeah, I ordered a couple myself because I need reading glasses up close. Ordered them from Germany. Kind of expensive, but
yeah.
They just snap in over the lenses.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
I think DJI actually offers some, but I didn't know that.
Oh, there we go.
I do have to have OnePlus reading glasses to read with.
Huh.
But
well,
So you're pretty
I got
clear.
LASIK done.
Oh, LASIK.
oh,
Yeah, had that done about 10 years ago. Love it.
did you get the bionic upgrade? You like zoom in, like tap on the side of your face.
That would be cool.
What was that guy on Star Trek? Reading Rainbow guy. What was his?
That'd be cool. You wouldn't need a phone to fly your drone. You would just project it into your
cortical implant. Yeah.
Yeah. I worked with a guy that I did some user experience design for him, and he was building an application for doctors that did LASIK, and they basically did LASIK for rich people, and they would charge ungodly amounts of money for these lenses that were actually better than the lenses you were born with.
Right.
So you could get like upgrades, even like the the glasses that change, they turn into sunglasses when you're out in the sun.
Yeah, the
Well,
photo
your eye.
gray.
Yeah, so they do that. They have lenses that they put in you that do that.
Oh wow, that's cool.
That's awesome. But then if you were walking outside, all of a sudden your eyes would turn black. No, it's just the black part of your eye that's already black. But
Yeah.
but I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I've only flown with these once, so this is like my second time to actually use these goggles. I bought them not too long ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
So I've seen you have a tripod with 2 controllers on it for your Inspire.
Yeah.
So, and since we're talking about waypoint missions, you've set up waypoint missions for your Inspire, correct?
Yeah, that one was with Litchi in that case.
Okay. So if you flew Litchi, so if you set up the waypoint mission ahead of time and then flew it and then put your goggles on and use that to control the camera, do you think that would be a really good video setup?
Yeah, I think that would actually be really good. Especially if you had a visual operator, to be sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So question, and I mentioned this earlier, if you already flown the flight with your eyes, like you set up the waypoints and you watch the mission fly with your eyes and you visually observed the original mission, would you necessarily be flying it the second time if you just hit the play button? So if you were watching it and you had full control over the controller, where if it was coming into contact with something crazy, you could stop it. What would you think about using the goggles?
I would say it'd be perfectly safe, especially where I do it. It's way out in the country, so yeah, as long as you know that it's not going to hit anything. If you practice it, like you said, run it through one time to be sure
Yep.
you're good, and still wouldn't technically be with the FAA regulations, but
Sure.
But I'd be comfortable.
Cool.
Mhm.
So, Art, have you had any experience with setting up any missions that fly by themselves, or?
Well, I played around with it once, and I haven't done it in a long time. It took me a while to figure it out how to do it on my old Phantom, how to set up waypoints, and I know I could do that with my Mavic Air, and I think that'd be kind of cool to do it with the Mavic Air.
Yeah. Can you do it with? Could you program the RoboMaster?
You know what? It's got a feature on called a follow me mode. You could set it up to where it will take a picture of an object or a person, and it will follow that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know some of the something that DJI is doing with the RoboMaster is like teaching kids how to build.
Yeah.
Like a robot
and to program. It has its own programming language, which is, I think, similar to Java or Basic or what is that?
Okay.
Linux. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so that's kind of like what they were doing with the Trello too. I think you could program the Trello. Not the Trello. That's a
Tello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trello's a project management tool. But yeah, like the Tello, you could do, 3 seconds, turn right.
Yeah.
Like it was very simple. Like if this happens, then do this. Kind of.
Yep.
Call and response type things.
Yep. And there are some apps that you could download from the Google Store, where somebody had already set up a program for the Tello. It gives it more utilities to use the Tello. Like there's this one program where you could stick your phone into one of those VR goggles, and you could fly the Tello using like a FPV.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I liked my Tello when I flew it inside, and then it just made me mad when I went outside with it. So I took it back kind of immediately. But that one flight that I flew inside my apartment complex clubhouse,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I could fly FPV through my house, that would be pretty fun too.
Yeah. Well, I just got the Emax Easy Pilot, which is kind of it's the cheaper version of the Tiny Hawk.
Okay.
And so I'm learning how to fly that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think my next bird is going to be the iFlight Bumblebee, either the Bumblebee or the Green Hornet.
Okay.
But from what I understand, it's pretty easy for a guy like me that flies GPS drones all the time,
right,
to get into the Cine Whoop type,
right?
Because there's a stability mode where you don't have to actually fly the thing the entire time,
right?
Did you say the Bumblebee would not work with the Racing Edition?
I'm not sure. I've been doing all this research over the last week. I know that the Bumblebee, one of the versions of the Bumblebee, which is the one I want to get, has the new DJI FPV unit on it.
Right.
And the FPV unit only works with, from what I understand, the goggles, or it's the new FPV goggles with the 4 antennas sticking out of the front of them.
Right.
Or it's the other way around. Those FPV goggles with the antennas on them might only work with the air unit. So I can't find any videos on it. Everybody's just kind of like, when you go to iFlight's site, you either buy the air unit and then you can add the goggles and all that kind of stuff. But from what I understand, to get the I guess the signal that comes out of the air unit,
right?
I don't remember if it's the 5 gigahertz or the 2.4 gigahertz.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm all mad. Nobody's done a video on what I want to do, so I don't have any guidance, and I'm afraid to spend a lot of money on something that's just not going to connect to each other.
So I guess it is OcuSync 2, right?
It's the new one that they released this year. It's the 1080 air unit. The OcuSync that came out with the Racing Edition was the 720 version, and the 1080 version is with the new goggle system. But since I already have the Racing Edition goggles, right, it might make sense to get an older version. But the idea the thing I like about the new air unit is you can get 1080 video without putting a extra weight on the drone, so you can get more flight time. But you also have the option to put a GoPro on top of it. So I could put the GoPro, I could put the Insta360 on there, I could put the DJI Osmo Action and get some really good video.
Right.
Or I could just use the FPV video. It's got a little 1080 DVR on it.
Ah, cool. Mm-hmm.
So it's funny, people stop chatting whenever we start talking to each other. Like, everybody chats when it's just me. They just type a bunch of stuff in the chat, and I have a hard time catching up. And then once we start talking to each other, mm-hmm, and I'm like, oh crap, I got to go back and see what the chat's doing. Nothing. But it's good. I'm lonely, so I'm glad you guys are in here talking to me.
Oh, okay.
So didn't DJI just release a new rover version?
Yeah, I think they're coming out with the S2, I believe, and I think it's coming out in April or May. And I think what it is, it's got like a claw and some other stuff that you could put on it. You know, instead of having the turret that it has now, you could put a thing on it that has the camera and a little claw to grab things, to hold things, and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So in your video when you were by the lake shooting, or when you were videoing you
The
say
geese.
geese?
Yeah.
Did you shoot any of them with your Nerf dart on top?
No, I didn't. I didn't put any in there because uh, that's just one more thing for me to pick up, and I don't get it very well. But it's
Sure.
got a laser on it. I did shoot them with the laser, and
Oh,
that's
okay.
probably what kind of they kind of looked over. Hey, what the heck is that? And then we're getting the heck out of here.
So you shot him with a laser like Buzz Lightyear that didn't do anything. It was just like,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah. So, and then after that, once I got it back to safety, I just kind of buzzed around on the grass, and it got wrapped up in some fishing line that somebody left out there. So when I went to put it away, I had to, like, holy crap, there's this bird nest of fishing line stuck to the wheels, and I had to, luckily, it didn't get really wrapped up in it. So,
Yeah, that could have been really bad.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
So, took care of that, threw that away when I got home, and did my part to clean up the environment.
I bet if you shot him with the Nerf dart, one of those geese would have
Oh, that
up
might,
in their beak and flew off with it.
yeah. Well, you wouldn't want to do that because they might swallow it.
Right.
Yeah. Is it possible to go live with it? Well, I think Mel from 400 AGL did a video on that where you could supposedly do a live stream from an action cam. And I tried to do it, but there's the issue of two different Wi-Fi sources because you're using the Wi-Fi from the camera to your phone or your tablet. And then if you use the like Streamlabs or Mobizen or any other DR uh, application to record the video from that, then you have to have Wi-Fi to connect to the internet with. So there's the problem. Either that's the issue, or I'm doing something wrong, and that's why it's not working.
Yeah. The issue that I've had in the past with this guy, this is about the only guy that I've successfully gone live with. This is the Garmin Verb 360.
Right.
So basically, through the app, you connect to the Wi-Fi of the camera. So you connect your phone to the Garmin, and then you connect the Garmin to the actual internet Wi-Fi.
Right.
And whenever you talk to the camera sends it. But the problem with that is I could only get that to work at home because if I'm out anywhere, like if I'm at a hotel,
Right.
You have to accept the privacy clause, and the camera doesn't have any way to push a button on a website. So when you're at a hotel, it says you can use the Marriott's Wi-Fi if you agree not to watch porn or something like that.
Oh.
And, you have to, or you're not. It's unsafe, and you have to.
Yeah.
Accept the fact that someone could steal your data.
Right.
So that's the tough part.
Uh-huh.
The easiest way to go live with any of these cameras is to use the HDMI out if they have them.
Yeah.
And go into your streaming application.
Right.
But like the GoPro Hero 8 mods haven't come out yet. There's just a bunch of issues with the coronavirus and all the stuff we pre-ordered from China.
Yeah.
It isn't even built yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting all the stuff that I do have ready for whenever they hit the ship button.
Well, I'm wondering if I could take a USB-C and connect my GoPro to my phone, and then the phone will see it as a camera. Then I could do live streaming with
Yeah. Do you have an Android or iOS?
Android.
Okay. You might have better luck at that.
Okay.
iOS and Macs are very, very strict on what access they give microphones and cameras.
Right.
So my iPhone is locked up tight.
Well, I just have to get an adapter for like a regular USB to USB-C,
Yep.
and get an adapter for the other end. Then I could plug that in the phone, and then I could plug this into my camera and do it that way. Well, except for the GoPros, they use the mini USB.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and the
and
Androids
I've
have
got one of those.
on the go cable,
Yeah.
the OTG cable, which basically just gives it a USB port.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of people hook up things that way.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I could hook up a microphone to it, and yeah.
Yep. Even like my iPad Pro, um, I have the new iPad Pro that has the USB-C instead of the Lightning port,
Right.
and I was trying to hook up all kinds of things into it, like this Logitech Brio webcam.
Right.
It's a USB-C, so I just had a USB-C cable to a USB-C, and it
Right.
never recognized that camera. I thought that was going to be an awesome little live stream,
Right.
but it didn't work out.
Hmm.
Especially because I have a SIM card in my iPad, so I could go out in the woods and live stream if I wanted to.
There you go.
But the camera kind of sucks on the iPad,
Yeah.
or at least the front-facing one.
Right.
But I always have to look at myself. It's a hard time. It's hard for me to just record blind and not know if I'm like live streaming and all you see is my shoulder or something. I can't,
Well, when I do my intros to my videos where I'm using a GoPro, I automatically know how to set it up, and I'm usually like very close to the center of the picture.
Yeah.
I do it about an arm's length, set up the tripod, and then I just turn it on and say, "Welcome to Artco Drone Solutions," and then I cut away to my intro, and then I'll say, "I'm blah 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 blah," and on with the video.
Don't sell yourself short. You're not blah 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 blah. I'm getting a little jealous of Brett Newman's depth of field. That is a beautiful shot.
Yep.
Got a Canon 80D back there with I think a nifty 50 millimeter prime on it.
Nice.
Have to manually focus it every time I turn this on. So
I see.
That's a good idea.
get too close, I'm blurry.
Yep.
Put it back.
Yep. Yeah, if I did that, I'd get back here and I'd be all blurry. I move around too much. I make that facial recognition. I make that little box on my camera work.
I'm using a Logitech 922.
Okay.
It does a pretty darn good job.
Very cool.
Sometime down the road, I'll get a DSLR camera and mount it like right up there, kind of like what Ken does on his show, and have it pointed down, and it'll come in really sharp.
Okay.
But he's got that cool studio where he's got all that neat stuff behind him. So
Yeah, he does.
where I have a green screen, and that works pretty good.
Yeah, the green screen does look pretty good.
Yeah. Except I don't have a monkey like Mitch, some old guy on the drone.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
you motherfucker,
All right.
nigga.
All right. I was waiting for that to happen at some point.
Tonight's the night.
Mm,
Yep.
Getting all the trolls. The trolls are out.
Flushed in
Yep.
pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good at that remove button. What was that all about?
There are idiots out there that go around. They like to stir up stuff on live streams. Yep.
Yep.
Fix his microphone setup.
Yeah. Well, on my political channel, Arts Place, I've been getting a lot of trolls lately. I don't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just get in the chat and they start saying stuff, some gibberish, and we're like, "All right, goodbye."
Yeah.
My moderators take care of that. And, yep.
So that's one thing that I haven't thought about, but I blocked him from the studio, but I don't know if that did anything on my YouTube channel because I'm
Probably
using
not.
Streamlab
No.
or I'm using StreamYard.
Yeah. And I don't even know what his handle was, so I didn't.
It was like he said it was like stars ZZZZZ,
Oh, okay. Well.
but it might be this Chipser guy.
Okay.
What's up, Chips? Happy birthday.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you could probably go to his channel and there's probably no content there. And if there's no content, then he's probably a troll.
yep.
Yeah, that's what's been happening to Claude at his channel. He's been getting a lot of trolls and yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, last Saturday on Artco, on my Artco channel, I had a troll on there, and luckily my moderators took care of that right away.
Your highly paid moderators.
Yes. Yep. They're paid just the same as I am.
Yeah.
Just trying to build up my watch hours, and I could be monetized.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a friend. He has 50,000 subscribers on his channel, but he's been doing it for like 10 years.
Right.
And I mentioned this maybe a couple months ago, but his YouTube channel got hacked.
Ooh.
And what someone did is they presented themselves as like an application. He does a channel on guitars and audio, and
Right.
he teaches music theory and stuff like that.
Right.
And they, since he has a lot of subscribers, someone offered him a beta to a software that was, software like a kind of like a computerized soundboard,
Right.
kind of like Logic on an Apple. And so he went back and forth, and they gave him a beta tryout, and he downloaded it and installed it on his computer, and immediately it said it was a Trojan horse, and so he took it off or whatever, but he happened to be logged into his Google account when that happened.
Uh-oh.
And so they took his Google password, and how they hacked his YouTube channel is they logged in as him, made themselves an admin on the channel.
Oh boy.
Admin can't do anything to other admins for 20 days.
Right.
So they were silently an admin on his channel for 20 days. And then after that, kicked him off of his channel, deleted all of his videos, put up a bunch of regular videos, and grabbed all the money for a month before they banned his channel.
Oh man.
So rerouted his direct deposit for his AdSense and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I kind of look at my admins every day to make sure I'm the only person there.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
But so he got in contact with someone at Google, and they looked at everything that was going on, and he actually got access to his channel back, which was good.
That's great.
They kind of, I guess they had it on backup, so they reverted his channel to a month. Whenever that.
Oh yeah,
happened.
yeah. Kind of like a restore point where they just went prior to that event, and then they just kind of restored it to that, and he was able to get in and lock it down tight.
Yep. But he started a new channel, and since he had so many subscribers, he got 1,000. He got 1,000 subscribers within like 2 or 3 days.
Right.
He got the 4,000 watch hours within a week or two, and so he was monetized. Well, he was going through the process of being accepted to be monetized already within a couple of weeks. So, but if you think about 10 years worth of videos, people are probably still watching videos he made 5 years ago.
Right, that's true.
He's still getting ad revenue off of those.
Mm-hmm.
So those videos that people are watching. So it definitely was like a financial hit, but he's a pastor, so he makes money otherwise. He has a day job, but still, it's so frustrating when you put this is a hobby that I've kind of picked, and I really, really enjoy.
Right.
Making videos. I like hearing what people are saying of, whether I did a good job or not, and constantly adjusting what I'm doing to make videos that people actually want to see, as opposed to videos that I want to do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I did a video a year ago of a drive-in theater, and that's my number one video right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's amazing. And
go ahead.
Next month I'm going to go down to Pueblo, and there's another drive-in theater there that I'm going to try and get some video of that place.
That'd be cool. That's a good idea. There's one out in Ashland City by where I live that would be fun to just kind of, do it on a day that's nobody's there.
Right.
It's closed, and
probably now with all the virus, everything will be closed, right? It'd be a good time to drone over cities, downtowns, and
Oh yeah. Well, we got hit by a tornado last month, so
yeah, that's why.
But
yeah, well, and I happen to know the owner of this drive-in that I flew at, so
cool.
got in contact with her, and I said, hey, would it be all right to do that? And I'll give you, if you want to use it, you can use it. And so it's driving a lot of traffic to her, driving people to, where is that? Oh, look at that drive-in theater. Oh, that's where that is. So, and then they see that, and it gives her some more people coming to her drive-in theater now that she's getting exposure on YouTube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I'm planning on doing, especially with the waypoints and the kind of the flight plan, is I want to do Google Street View.
Right.
So with the Parrot Anafi, I can set a waypoint right over a piece of property. So right over a building, and then I can do another waypoint in the front and in the back and all that kind of stuff. And I can just have it fly to that position,
right,
and then do a panoramic image. And since the Parrot Anafi points up, I can get a 360-degree photo from the air at a specific point, and then I can come back and do that next week and actually since I've already programmed that spot, I can fly to that exact spot and then take another picture. So I could do a 360 time lapse if I wanted to over time. Or
also with since your camera goes up at the angle, you don't have to stitch a sky in to make it a full sphere, right?
yeah, the Paradenofi is the only drone that can do the entire sphere. DJI is pretty good though. Like if I'm on that day, take a picture from the ground with like my Insta 360.
Right.
Like I have the entire sky, and I can patch the sky in if I want to. I'm actually very good at Photoshop, but I mean, with Paradenofi, you don't have to. It's the click of a button. It saves a lot of time. But there's, with the DJI Mavic Pro 2 and the Phantom, like with the 1-inch sensor, they definitely take a better picture.
Right.
But
I think Chipser is back. There you got it. Okay, it's all deleted. Great. Yeah, I saw Steven Drones, and I went to the YouTube studio and saw that guy was back. Okay.
Oh, is it normally that big when I share a screen?
it's pretty dang big.
It is. Anyway, here's the drone link if you don't mind.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I haven't actually used it. I've tried to do a mission or plan a mission or two. It's quite a bit different than Litchi.
Right.
It looks like it could be more powerful. I believe it runs on your device, your iPad or your iPhone, instead of the actual bird, which I believe is what Litchi actually uploads it to the bird.
Right.
And it runs from there. So if you have a powerful tablet, I think it could do more probably.
Right.
Okay.
More power to process things.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But again, I haven't really messed with it much. But it's only for DJI drones, but I think it'll work for pretty much most of them back to the Phantom 4 or 3.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So the benefits of having it run it from the tablet is that you don't have as much memory on the drone, so you can run more complex missions from the tablet.
That's my understanding, yeah.
Okay. The other caveat is if your drone loses connection to the controller,
yeah,
then it's better to have the mission already on the drone.
Yes. Yep.
So one of the things that I noticed with the DJI Mavic Pro when I was running it, you can't go farther than, I think it was like 500 meters maybe,
right,
or 500 feet. Like I couldn't go very far with the waypoint mission on the Mavic Pro from the home point.
Right.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love about the Paradenofi is I can fly a mile and a half away, and I've already lost connection to the controller, but then it just comes back to me.
Yeah.
But that's the dangerous part is you don't have full control of the drone at the time. So
yeah,
that happened to me once with the Phantom 4. I had the Litchi mission in there, and I hadn't really test flown it yet. And it was an out of line of sight mission, so it disappeared out of sight, right, going on my mission. And I went right when I lost connection. The last image I saw was it heading straight for these electric wires.
Oh gosh!
But it was going like a mile after that. So I was like 10, 15 minutes before I knew if it crashed or if it was going to come back. And it did come back. But it went right between two electric wires. I mean, just hair's breadth.
Oh, did you get a video of it?
One time I sent it to him.
Oh, okay, cool.
Did you post that on YouTube? Because I saw somebody's video like that.
It might be. I think it is. Yeah. I think that's why Ken was able to show it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Ken showed it. Okay, yeah, I did see that video.
So what it was is there was a hill that I hadn't accounted for between me and the end point of my mission. And on that hill were these tall electric wires.
Right.
Totally didn't even think about the wires.
Oh,
didn't know they were there. So.
Oh, ouch.
That's why it's good to do a manual test mission, right?
Yep.
And be sure you keep connection if you can.
And also set your altitude too.
Yes. If I had it up maybe 20 feet more, 10 feet more.
Right. You don't want to end up like what happened to Ken Heron when his drone hit the side of that skyscraper.
Oh yeah, the one with the ball on the top. Yeah.
Signal, and the thing did a return to home, and he didn't set it high enough, and it just went. Fortunately, it didn't break any glass when it hit the building, but it just hit it, and then the thing just kind of spiraled in, and boom.
Yeah, that similar thing happened to me. I went behind an oil rig. And going behind the oil rig cut off my signal. But my return to home was like 2 feet higher than the oil rig. So I went up and just barely went over the light on top. I got a video of that on my YouTube channel as well.
Oh man!
I was a fan of 2 Vision Plus back in the old days.
Man.
Yeah, I had a viewer. He was, and I put his situation in the in one of my videos. But I was talking about making sure that your return to home is high enough.
Right.
And one of the issues with the Paradenofi is it's very it's just Wi-Fi signal. It's not a very strong signal at all.
Yeah.
And people were getting mad that they lost connection to their drone, but they'd fly it behind a concrete building.
Yeah.
And expect a Wi-Fi signal to go through a concrete building.
Right.
Yeah.
And when it loses connection, it waits like maybe 10 seconds and then it returns to home. Mm-hmm. But their return to home was half the height of the building. So it just flies right back, right into the side of the building. And I'm like, well, there's a couple things you need to check first before you go flying.
Yeah.
For one, it's make sure your return to home is higher than the tallest object.
That's why when I do water towers, I always do a spiral orbit where it gets higher and higher, and then that way I never lose signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend hit a water tower from a Litchi mission because he miscalculated and it bounced off, broke half a prop, but he was still able to land it. It was shaking like a Mexican space shuttle. I mean, it was.
Oh man, that's scary.
Did that just hit the water tower? I was expecting to see it drop behind it, but it actually came out the other side and was all shaking. And
oh man!
Oh wow! Yeah, they say there's a feature on my Unique Typhoon H Plus that since it has 6 blades, if one of the blades falls off, then you can still land it with 5 blades.
That'd be.
I'm sure it like shakes just like you're talking about. Like it's probably unstable, but
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. I had a friend who's Phantom 3 threw a prop off in the air, and if he would have had 6 do all hexacopters have that ability? I think some of them don't actually have that ability to keep coming.
Yeah, probably not. I do know that like it's part of the marketing material on the H Plus, and it wasn't on the marketing material the H. So I don't know if that actually. I feel like they probably added that as a firmware because it's. I mean, it's.
If it detects one of them's missing, it would just pitch or whatnot, the speed of each other props, I guess. But.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because each prop is, the whole point is to keep the horizon steady. So each prop is like constantly check. Well, I guess the props aren't, but the main balancing computer in the middle is making sure that it's, it's got its horizon hold.
Right.
Probably it's like two props next to the one that's missing would probably be the ones that would increase their lift to compensate.
Yeah, if you're a mile away, you might burn out the rest of your motors trying to get home.
Yeah.
But I saw with this coronavirus, I saw a couple pictures of a Unique Typhoon H. A lot of people use the Unique Typhoon H's to drop emergency supplies because it has the landing gear that opens up, and same with the instructor behind you. So they use the landing gear going up and down to drop things.
Right.
They'll put like a ring on each landing gear and they'll put a stick in between them. And when the landing gear opens, the stick falls out of one side and whatever's hanging will just drop.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I saw they had rolls of toilet paper on it. so they could drop toilet paper to people in need, but not go up and touch them.
Right.
6 feet away.
Yep.
I had a guy come in my chat named Amir, but he never ever spoke in the actual chat. He just sent me a private chat. So that's why I didn't bring him on the live stream, because I was expecting it to be another situation that just happened.
Okay.
So if you want to be in this live stream, you're going to have to talk a lot in the chat.
Yeah.
I need to know who you are. And I've actually talked to these two guys before.
Right. And be a regular to the show. Then we know that you're serious about watching this channel, and you're not some troll that's once caused trouble. So.
Yeah. So what time is it? Ooh, 7:50.
Yeah.
Good night. Good night.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? You don't know what I was going to say, Art?
No, I'm not that clairvoyant today.
Okay. So the three drones that I mentioned, or the three companies that I mentioned in the trailer for this video, was Parrot, DJI, and Unique.
Right.
And all three of them have some sort of waypoint type mission control. So
Right.
DJI has waypoints. I've played around with the Mavic Pro, but I don't have a Mavic 2 Pro. And from what I've seen on videos, the Mavic 2 Pro waypoint system is a lot closer to Parrot and Nafi's, where you can actually put points on the map. I don't know if you can do it from home, or you have to get the drone off of the ground. Because in order for me to do Mavic Pro, I have to get the drone off of the ground,
I think
have to fly to a specific spot.
Yeah, I think that's how DJI does.
Yeah, I don't use DJIs very much.
Okay.
So I go to Litchi.
Right.
I think they've improved it the last few updates, maybe the
Right.
Yeah.
waypoints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the videos I saw was great. I mean, it seemed a lot like Parrot and Nafi's, or like the Parrot flight plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then I haven't even dared try the Unique, what is it? Cable cam, curved cable cam.
Yep.
There's a curved cable cam option where you fly it to different points, and then it doesn't fly from point to point to point to point, but it actually creates a curve.
Oh,
In
okay.
the points, so it's actually a smooth flight. But it's one of those things where you'd have to test it over and over and over again to actually get a good flight. And if you're at a location, you don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you keep going back to that same location over and over.
Right.
So out of the three that I've played with so far, well, I haven't played with that one, but I still feel like Parrot and Nafi's flight plan is amazing. But maybe I'm just biased because I know it the best.
Mm-hmm.
But
one thing I would like to use Litchi or some other waypoint software for is supposed to build a land, which is usually where I fly. And as they're constructing it, I'd like to maybe every week go down there and have the same mission, either a Litchi orbit or something around a spiral,
Right.
or some time lapse over time of it rising up and taking it down.
yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing in my backyard.
From all that construction.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to, so since I have the DJI Mavic Pro, I'm planning on getting that waypoint mission correct. And then I already have some really good ones with the Parrot and Nafi. And so I'm planning on using those two drones to just kind of do the same, what you're talking about.
Right.
The video that I put up last week of the construction behind my house,
Right.
I have that, for the most part, I have that same flight plan. There's one little point of interest that's missing in the video that I did in October.
Right.
So, but I have the reveal of the neighborhood. I have the flyover my house. I have all of those things from October and from March of this year. And so I played both video. I set up the 2 YouTube videos side by side, and I played them next to each other, and it's really, really cool to see the fall leaves and the mountains in the background, and then just nothing, like just a dirt gravel hole in the ground, and the same mountains being in the background, and you can tell by the things around, and the water tower. There's a water tower by my neighborhood, and the flyover to my house, you can see my house with beautiful trees in the back, like woods, gorgeous, and then crap. So, so it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
You think you'll edit them together where they dissolve between seasons, or?
So, are you familiar with like a glitch? Like a glitch transition where the whole screen just kind of glitches, like you pulled the power or something. I thought about doing I was going to do a music video, but have like, whenever the beat changes, have it glitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
And I thought about doing like black and white, like in the past or something.
Editing, when you just splice out a section of the video, and it'll just give you that kind of that jerky, that glitchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. In Final Cut Pro, it's really easy to stack them.
Right.
And so I just line them up and stack them, and then keep hitting the B button to break it, and then the V button to make it visible or not. So
okay.
Basically go keep the base video, and then on the top you just make it visible or not.
Right.
But I don't know. I want to be creative with it, but at the same time, I kind of want to do the same flight side by side.
Right.
So I thought about cutting the videos in half and putting them left and right on the same screen. But yeah.
So did you see my? Well, you saw my latest RoboMaster video where I did a review on this.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I like it, but the problem is this is the toggle that turns it, and in order to make it turn, you gotta push this down, and it took me forever to kind of figure out how to do that. I just want to do it to where, okay, I could go forward and I could go right or left with this without having to touch this. And if anybody knows how to program one of these, that'd be great. Then and also I'd like to have it to where I could press these buttons to turn on the video camera or to take a picture. That's the only thing I didn't like about it.
Is that just an Android controller, like an Android video game controller?
Yeah. It's a Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's Wi-Fi. It hooks up to the phone through Bluetooth.
Okay.
And it takes all the functions of the app that I'm using on the phone and converts it onto this.
So on the app that came with the controller, is there like any kind of button mapping section, like in the settings?
You know what? Maybe I'll see if I could find that, but there's probably, yeah. I mean, all it came was with this and a little manual on how to turn it on and what the functions of the buttons are. But hey, you know what? Maybe I could figure out how to change the settings on these and get to where I could just steer it like I would with my phone. With my phone, the steering's a lot easier, but
Is that made by DJI, that controller?
No, this is by a Chinese company. And the name of this controller is the Smurf.
It's Smurfing awesome.
Yeah. But yeah.
So I've got the one from SteelSeries,
Yeah.
and I bought it whenever I did the Unique Breeze. The Unique Breeze doesn't come with the controller, but you can. The second version that came out came with the controller, but all the controller was it was a repurposed Android controller like the one in your hand.
Oh, okay.
And
Right.
it had this button in the middle that you could switch it from iOS to Android. So it had like both. It was like a hybrid,
Right.
but then it also had different layouts. So depending on whether or not you're playing Fortnite or a racing app or Call of Duty, they all have different buttons that do different things, especially like Nintendo emulators.
Right.
Well, they'll have, most controls now have four buttons, a D-pad, and two joysticks, which is what that's got.
It has a joystick, and it's got this thing here, and it's got the buttons, kind of just like a Nintendo gamepad.
Yep. So it looks a lot like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like the arrangement and everything is modeling the Xbox controller.
Yep.
So if you were playing a Nintendo Switch, you would only use these two buttons.
Right.
So there's different mapping so that's one of those controllers that you could use on a lot of different types of games. So I bet there's something
in your select switch, and it's got a start switch, and then this turns it on.
That's pretty much this controller.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I could play around with it. Maybe get to where it'll work like there's this one on each side, and then there's these two here. I bet I could probably get one of these for video, one for camera.
Yep.
And or I could program these buttons to turn the camera on to whether what video or photograph. Okay.
Yep. I bet there's a lot of applications in the Google Plus store that has controller mapping.
Oh, okay.
The controller I have, the one I got came with this like Chinese application that was really kind of broken English, but it was, you basically just programmed your flavor.
Right.
You can adjust the flavors a little bit.
Okay. Well, Shawn, I gotta get going. I want to thank you for having me on here.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. I think I'm gonna head out too.
Okay.
So Brent Newman's gonna take over the show.
Okay, Brent, you have a great evening. Take care, everybody.
See y'all. I gave Brent full control and he didn't want it. Yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out. It's been a great show. Thanks, Art and Brent, for hanging out. Chipser, I'm sorry things didn't work out, but and Amir, if you are an actual viewer, come in and chat sometimes, and then I might let you on the show. But hope you guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Stay 6 feet away from people. Don't lick your fingers. Don't lick other people's fingers. Stay away from the coronavirus. Keep yourself healthy. But I encourage you to have communication with other people so that you don't go crazy in quarantine. This has been Shawn Ide Studios. We've been talking about waypoints. Stay tuned to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell for notifications. I want to put out more live streams, more videos about action cams, drones, other cameras, smart home stuff. Sometimes I just talk to myself. So yeah, we have a good time around here, and yeah, have a wonderful night, guys. Peace out.